welcome to my 6th episode of Monkey Science. Today we're going to discuss the Tharatopsis dorhel, otherwise known as the Benjamin Bottoms or the Medusa, but everybody likes to call it the immortal jellyfish. Why did I choose this topic? I chose this because being immortal is physically impossible for human beings and practically for any other kind of animal. And the immortal jellyfish is the only creature we have ever discovered that can never ever die, except from a disease or a certain death by another animal. The immortal jellyfish starts at its polyp form and transfers into its Medusa form, just like a tadpole turns into a frog. But what's interesting is that when this creature becomes scared, frightened, or is afraid of being eaten by a predator, it transfers itself back into time and turns into the polyp form. This makes it immortal because it can do this infinite amount of times. So there are 3 facts about this which is really interesting. Fact 1. Like all jellyfish, the immortal jellyfish has no brain, lungs, or heart. This is because they have such thin skin that they can literally just breathe through their bodies, which is absolutely crazy. Plus, they have no blood, so no need for pumping it around, and they don't have a brain because, they're kind of dumb, so they don't really need one. Fact 2. So, the immortal jellyfish is also known, it has another name, as a hitchhiker. Not the hitchhiker that goes on the street and goes like this, on the thumbs up, but the hitchhiker that just, without permission, just jumps on board. So they live in the Mediterranean Sea and are commonly found on cargo ships, like all over the place. Fact 3. As I said before, they are seen on the sides of cargo ships, but you will probably never, ever see one in your entire life. This is because they are about 4.5 millimeters at their tallest height and level of their entire life, even though their life, never ends. And that is about this big, which is, wow, tiny. So speaking of their tiny size, what do these guys live on? You might think maybe it might be extremely big, since whales, the biggest creature that's ever lived on Earth, eat plankton, which is about that tiny, which is like a 16th the size of the jellyfish itself. So actually, you are kind of right. These jellyfish eat plankton, again, which is these creatures that just bob around in the ocean without muscles. Jellyfish are as well, so they probably eat smaller jellyfish. They also eat sea shell-like fish, like clams, oysters, and also tiny octopuses, which is just crazy. Like, they're this big. They can eat something that can grow up to this big. So I've now talked about my 3 facts. What's most interesting to me is their cycle. Like a normal animal, it starts at life, it grows up, and then it dies. But then, this is a normal creature. Then it dies, it just stops. This is the immortal jellyfish. It's all over the place. And let me now tell you the actual cycle. It first starts as a swimming plankton, almost like a small egg, just bobbing around the ocean, then turns into a polyp, which I explained earlier, which is a form of jellyfish. And then it attaches itself to an object, whether it's a living sponge, they are a thing by the way, or a rock or something. They just attach themselves to that. Then they grow up to be a Medusa, and that happens all over again. So the Medusa is just a normal jellyfish, and then if it's scared, it turns itself back into a swimming plankton. That's basically what happens in that jellyfish's life. gotta admit, it's kind of sad. Like, you have no muscles, you just bob around in the ocean. It's really sad. But thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe and see you.